Hello, everyone. It's Lisa with Ink and Inspirations coming to you live from Southwest Missouri. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. If you will, say hello and let us know where you're watching from. Let me know how the sound is, and we will get started. So I had to get used to my new setup again, and this is a totally different time than I usually go live for the week. But as it would have it, we ended up traveling to Missouri to the cabin for a little while on Thursday. And so the Thursday Live was going to be out. But today I'm back and I'm going to be sharing some cards that complement. We're going to be making a couple of cards with the Everyday Arches bundle, which is just darling. I just love it. And so I'm going to give it a minute and let someone find the video. And so I see some eyeballs now. So if you'll say hello and let me know how the sound is, we can get started. So I'm going to go ahead and get it on my desktop and see if I can set this up the way it needs to be. Okay. All righty. So I think we're good. Let me adjust this a bit, kind of clean up my area. So how's everybody doing? I hope you've had a good week. It's we're at that time of year where it's a chilly morning and kind of warms up a little bit in the afternoon. Carol, hello, dear. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. And so I have a little jacket on and my little heater by my feet in hopes that it will stay warm for now. It's like, you know how when the house cools off at night and then you have to kind of warm it back up again in the morning? That's what I'm going through right now. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what the kind of cards I've been sharing this week. So I've talked about that so many people could really use the sentiment of "I appreciate you," um, "You're doing a good job," "You're amazing." I mean, just how awesome is that to get that kind of message in your mailbox, or just handed it to you, or find it on your desk or your doorstep? So I just think, we need to really get into those cards that we have in our stash and get those sent out and make a difference in this world. We need it. We need to boost each other up. We need to build community because we're here for each other and in service to one another. So when I saw this Everyday Arches stamp set, and with the sentiments, "Know you are loved, you are simply fantastic, you are a ray of sunshine." This Reach for the Stars is a great one. I love that. My Stampin' Up team is the Stars team, so I love that. I thought, what some sweet sentiments to send to someone. And so I'm going to show you one card and then I'm going to kind of walk myself through another one that I thought I'd show you a different way of doing it. And so first of all, I want to talk about the bundle because, it has this great stamp set with these arches, and then it has this set of dies that come with the bundle that there are 10 arches in graduating sizes. And if you have not seen my reel, I posted that this way of using these in order for you to replicate a card or explain to someone how you've done a card, it's best to go ahead and number them one through, and I have 10 set off to the side because I'm going to use it. And that way you can say, oh, okay, I used number 7 on this card and 9 to frame it, and so on. So I have found that very helpful. I saw another demonstrator do that, and I thought, I am going to do that. It's going to make it much easier. So I suggest that you do that as well. Okay, so the card we're going to make today is this one that says hello. I've done a lot of the prep work already. And then on the inside, you see I have the arch going the opposite way. I'm going to do it a little bit different on this card today to show you an alternative. This, though, is I got a really clean cut using the largest arch to cut the base. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute in case you've never seen that before. But let's go ahead and get started on this one, and I'll show you what I used for that. Okay, so I cut a card base of 4¼ by 11 and I scored it at 5½. Okay. And then I cut it with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I'm going to actually do one after a while. You see how that's the actual size. Okay. So let me show you here. So you take this top line, the straight line, and just come up just a bit there over that fold, okay? And then you run it through, you secure it, run it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and then it cuts an arched card base. So cute, right? Okay, so, but the thing with this particular, the way you cut this, your arches are really, so to speak, upside down, right? Well, I'm going to show you how we're going to fix that, not fix it, but adjust that so we can still use this shape and use the graduated sizes of arches. So there is my first piece in Balmy Blue. Then I cut 2 out of Fresh Freesia. These are the number 8 arch. And these, I cut the initial piece of cardstock 4¾ by 3½. And then I cut 2 of those. We're going to use that. I took some of the Everyday Skies beautiful 6x6 designer series paper. And I failed to mention these products here in this Everyday Skies suite, which includes the bundle, is an online exclusive. That means you can only find it in the Stampin' Up! Online store. It's not in any publication. There are some beautiful, beautiful products in there. So I encourage you to look at that. In the description, I should have the links to the paper and the bundle, but really go look because there's some things in there that are just absolutely gorgeous and some things that are on my wish list that I know that I'll be getting. Okay, so speaking of the Everyday Skies paper, I wanted to bring in the samples. I have used the tail off of this. In fact, I think I've used all of one of the patterns. So I'm going to try to show you what I have left. So here's, we have the Cajun Craze, and then it had this beautiful sky. And you can see they've used like the balmy blues and the peaches and pumpkins and pinks. So pretty. This is another one that I used the top half for my stamp club in Texas, but this was the bottom half of the page. And you can see on the back that peach pie. There's the Cajun Craze. All right, here we have a dark, a starry sky. So pretty to go with that sentiment. And then look at this. We're going to be using this piece on another card today. Oh, here's that Cajun Craze, the full piece. Look at that. I didn't know I had it. Isn't that a gorgeous sky? And it's like I always say, which side is that? But, you know, I think you could use it either way. All right. So pretty. Okay, there's that one again. All right, here's like a dark, almost like a stormy sky, stormy, starry sky. And then another starlit sky. And these stars are like, almost like in Fresh Freesia. It's really pretty. So this is Moody Mauve, okay, and like a brush stroke print. And then, hey, Kathy. And then we have this beautiful sunset print, okay, that I just love that. I love the colors. You've got your Night of Navy, your Balmy Blues. I believe that's Misty Moonlight in there, pumpkin. Okay, and here we have a pretty in pink with little birds that are a little bit darker. You can see them right there. And then this pretty blue sky. Here's another pink background with a very subtle stripe. You see that going through there? And then look at that sky. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Okay, that one I already showed you. And then this one here. So pretty. So like I said, I've used quite a bit of this and I may not have every sample, but you get the idea how they have these beautiful skies. And, you know, Stampin' Up! Has really been hitting it out of the park with their 6x6, with their scenes. You know, lately, I know so many of you have told me that you love them, and so do I. Okay, so let's get started with this card, okay? So first I'm going to go ahead and build the base, and I'm going to use the fold at the top. Again, that was cut with the largest arch, number 10. And I'm going to take one of the arch number 8 in fresh freesia, and we are going to layer that on top and try to give ourselves a pretty even border all the way around. So let's use some liquid glue. So as I'm doing this live for you all, our daughter Kristen, that lives near us in Texas, and her family and her friends are on their way up to spend a week with us. And we are so excited to see them. So my live next week will not be on Thursday. I will have to post when it's going to be, or I may do a nice pre-recorded video for you to see. Oh, that's okay, Pam. I'm so glad you're here. And Pam, I got your beautiful Christmas card and calendar when I got here to Missouri on Thursday. So thank you so much. Okay, so there we have, look how those colors look so pretty together. All right, so next we're going to work with our designer paper. So I told you I cut this out of arch number 7. And I cut the initial, I wanted to give you about how much you would need to cut. I like to give myself some space around so that I can have room for the die to run comfortably through the Big Shot. Okay, Big Shot Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, so I chose this part because I'm going to stamp on it. So I'm going to get my Stampin' Pierce mat, put it here, and get my sentiment. Oh, no, no, no. It's not a sentiment. Oh, I'm going to stamp the birds. I'm going to stamp the birds on this. So let me find my stamp set. And if I haven't mentioned this already, I do want to say that the dies cut very clean. You know, it's like they cut through, you punch it out. It is good to go. I love that. I'm not one, you know, I mean, the beautiful intricate dies are gorgeous, but I don't want to be punching out all those little pieces of paper or, you know, that's just me, y'all. I know they're beautiful and many of you love them, but, you know, no time for that. All right, so I've got some birds in Azure Afternoon, and I probably could have chosen a different color so they could show up a little bit more, but in a way, I wanted those to kind of just blend in the sky. So I'm gonna put another couple down here. Okay, and then we're gonna use the hello sentiment on the front. So what I'm gonna do here, and this is a very simple card, and you can see the arches are what make this card. The arches and, of course, the designer paper. Just such a pretty and clean look. And you can use this with so many different of your stamp sets that you have. Okay. So I'm going to center that on that fresh freesia arch. Okay, so we're using them upside down. All right. Okay, so next I have a 2 by 3/4 inch piece of fresh freesia, and I'm going to stamp hello on it. I'm going to clean my stamp while I'm at it here. So how's everybody doing today? Are y'all crafting or where's my, I got a sponge. Oh, here it is, all ready to go so I could clean as I go. So I have a stack of cards that I need to send out that are complimentary. I didn't want to mail them from Texas before we left. I decided to wait till I got here, but I'm there with you in doing that. I hope you have expressed appreciation to your friends, your family, those that you care about. And I'm looking for hello. Here it is. I've already mounted it. So let's stamp this in Azure Afternoon onto this little piece of fresh freesia. So if you're on my mailing list, you received an email yesterday with some important information. So if you're not on my list, I'm trying to think, do I want to stamp first or cut first? You need to get on there. Let me see if I can get find it right here. You get a free online card class when you sign up, but um, you also get all the information from me first before I send it out, so to the public. So about classes and information. So be sure you sign up, take a screenshot of that link, and that way we can keep in touch. And, I love when my followers and customers send me samples of their cards that they're and their projects that they've done. Love that. We all need inspiration, right? Okay, so I'm trying to I cut about 1/8 of an inch up from the side, okay, to make a little banner piece. So I'm going to just barely snip and then come up from the corner to the center there and do the same thing on this side. Okay, so that just makes it a little fancy with a very little effort, right? Okay. So now this is going to go right here in between my two sets of pair of stamp birds. So let's use a little liquid glue there, put it in the middle. And notice here that I'm stamping not on basic white, but on the color. It just brings it all together and gives it such a uniform and really classic look. You could, of course, use basic white, but when you have a light color and you're using a dark ink, try that, okay? Let me get this stained, what is that called? Chamois, simply chamois. Okay, so now let's talk about the inside. So on the inside, you can see, hey, Linda, thank you for tuning in. On the inside, you can see what I did to use the arched sentiment. I just flipped it upside down, okay? And it really barely fit in here like that. And quite honestly, it looks okay. It looks fine. There's plenty of room to write my message, but I thought I really wanted all the arches to go the same way. So I'm trying something different here. Let me see. And that looks like, where's my other arch? Where's my other arch? Okay, I'm going to set this aside for a minute. And if I've lost it, then I'm going to have to cut another one. Yeah, it's probably right under my nose. There it is, right here, under the arches. Okay, so I want this arch to go the same way as the rest, okay? So let me flip this in. I want it to go like that instead of like this. But you could do it that way. But do you see how it barely, in fact, that's too big, okay? I had to cut like a 6 arch so it would fit in here. Yeah, Pam, it's really pretty. So, but I want it to go like this, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm taking a scrap piece of fresh freesia, okay, just a scrap that I had in my drawer, and I'm taking the sentiment, "You are simply fantastic." Good morning, Catherine. Thanks for tuning in, and I want to show you something about these stamps. So, it's got that definite arch, and if you try to place it on here, on your stamp block, sometimes you're going to skew that a little bit. All right. Because the natural curve needs to be how it lays, right? And if you want it smaller, you can always adjust. Do you see I'm squeezing it together? If you needed to do that, I could even pull it out like that, okay? But that's not what I want to do here. I want to just stamp it as it is. So I'm laying it on a flat surface. I'm going to take my block, put it over top on that flat top of that stamp and pick it up like that. And that way you have the correct curve of that die. So let's take our Azure Afternoon and ink up. I like to lay my block flat on my surface and gently pat my ink pad over top when I've got something that big that I'm inking up, okay? So I'm going to take that, and then we're going to stamp it right here. just a scrap piece of paper. Now, we're going to do some fussy cutting. So what I do, I'm going to do this side first. Okay, so I'm just going to cut close and try to save about the same distance all the way around from the sentiment. And it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. Don't fret on that, okay? And then I'm going to cut up right here. And I'm going to cut off this excess to make it easier for me to cut. Then I'm going to just come around the top, give yourself plenty of room so that you don't chop off any of the tall lowercase letters. And just come on around. Come on around. All right, so there, and then cut straight across. Then take a look at it and see if it's okay. You know, I'm going to kind of curve this piece just a little more. And I'm not leaving it like this, okay? I'm just trying to it's easier to cut a bigger piece, a larger piece of paper when you're doing something like this than to try to cut each individual word, okay? So let me go ahead and get rid of this trash. And then I'm going to cut these words apart, okay? You are simply fantastic. So if you leave a comment today during the live, you are simply fantastic. And I'll be sending this card to someone whose name I draw. And I'll draw the name probably on Sunday evening. Okay, I'm trimming this up just a bit. And I'll send you this card and you can send it to someone. Or you can keep it because you are fantastic. If in case someone that hasn't told you today, you are fantastic. All right. So let's see, I get a little particular here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see what we can do here. You are simply fantastic. So see, now what do you think about that? I like this way better, okay? Instead of having to cut a smaller die. Yeah, I love it. And because all of my arches are going the same way. So let's go ahead and glue these on. And then we're going to work on another card. Don't forget to leave a comment. All right. So I'm trying not to put too much glue because you know how the glue just kind of splats out. Don't want it all over the place. Simply fantastic. And because I chose to stamp it on the same color as my base here, this base arch, it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. I don't mean that derogatorily so much, but you know what I mean. It just has a more clean look. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and put it inside. And then we're going to embellish this card. And then I'm going to show you another one partially. Okay. Okay. So now the embellishments that go with this suite are these two-tone sparkle gems. Look at that. Ooh, they're so pretty. All right, so let's open this up. And let's see if I good. I seem frozen there. I seem to be back now, so hang with me. It's kind of a cloudy down here. I'm going to use 3 gems. Where's my? So I'm going to put a a big one right here. I am so strange. I always start in the middle of the gems instead of going, in order. Not me. I'm just, hey, Becca, I'm glad you're here too. Thank you. Okay, so let's put one here and then let's get another one here. All right. So now, isn't that pretty? Okay, so now I'm going to get some ribbon, and this is the ribbon, the linen ribbon that goes with this suite. And we're going to tie a knot around the top here. This ribbon is very soft, easy to tie, and doesn't add a lot of bulk to your cards, which I know can be important when you go to mail them. So I'm going to tie it up here, just right underneath the fold. I have a video on knot tying that I might ought to share again because it sure makes it a lot easier. I used to redo and retie my knots all the time. But if you think you might want to see that knot tying video, let me know. And I'll try to put it up next week because I will be posting like a little hodgepodge of things since I'm going to be having company. And then the next week, y'all, my other daughter and her family are coming. Lindsay and her kids and husband. Okay, so there's that card. I like having my arches all the same way, but this one's good too. This one's good too. I think, okay, let me tell you something very important here. You see this right here? How it looks like it, it's like perforated almost. So what I did when I ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to cut the base, I thought that I needed to run it through twice so that it would cut through both layers of cardstock. Let me get here so I can talk to you here. So I could cut through both layers of cardstock. I thought I needed to run it through, then run it back through. You don't have to do that. It is a good cut, even with 2 pieces of cardstock. Now, granted, I know that everybody's machine is different as far as the pressure and the thickness as it rolls through. So you kind of have to play with your layers. But before you run it through twice, because you think, oh, I'm cutting a card base, I'm going through 2 layers of cardstock. Try once and check it. Okay. Okay, Pam, I will. So try that because this is like almost, I could just rip that off like it's perforated. Okay. So just try running it through once and it's good. And I know some very intricate dies of ours, you might need to run it through twice to get all those little pieces punched. This one is not like that. Just try once. Okay. All right. Let me get back to showing you this. And that's our first card. So before I start my other one, I want to show you, I went through my stash of cards just to show you that you probably have some cards in your stash that are good for sending compliments. Okay. So look at this one. I appreciate you. Y'all recognize that paper? I don't even know the name of it. Thoughtful Expressions, maybe? Anyway, I appreciate you, thinking of you fondly. That is a very nice card to send to show appreciation. I'm not going to take it out of this. I think I can get it where you are a shining light. Beautiful compliment, right? So this is from the You Are Beautiful stamp set that I love, that is in the big catalog. Okay. So I bet you have something. Before I show you this, I need to, what is the name of it? Oh, Country Flowers. All right, look at this one. So lucky to know you. Do you see? I mean, how sweet is that, right? This is from Country Flowers in the big catalog. It carried over from last year. All right. Then what else do I? Oh, and then I have my other um, Everyday Arches cards that I've made. You are a ray of sunshine. Okay. And here's another one. You are simply fantastic. And you see how I did the sentiment on the cardstock arch, and then just use the designer paper for the accent with the birds. Okay. And these, I used some of the pumpkin faux glass dots that were in the holiday catalog. Okay, so go through your stash and see. This is that Azure Afternoon designer paper from Everyday Skies, same, as this, but with the little pink birds. So cute. And this background, I'm going to show you again in a minute, is from, let me get it. I think this is an online exclusive plaster painting 3D embossing folder. It's huge. You could do two card front layers at a time, just about. Okay. Really pretty. Okay, so go through your cards. Send a compliment card this weekend. Well, it's Saturday, so do it by Monday. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see what I want to show you now. Okay, so now I'm going to show you me cutting this base. There's arch number 10. And I'm going to get in the Stampin' Cut ball machine right here. I have my bottom layer, I have my top layer here, all nice and etched and cut in. Okay, so I have a piece of post-it tape right there. So I got to stand up. All right, so this, I'm going to take it and line it up, center it, and I'm going to take this straight edge and go where I can see a little bit of a space. You see that? A little bit of a space between the cardstock. You can see it better over this. The cardstock and the die. Okay. Then I'm going to take my Post-it tape, put it down, and here I can see it. I got to line it up, try to keep it straight, keep that little space there, tape that baby down. And then let's put our top layer here and roll it through. And I'm going to show you how it's going to cut right through it. Okay. Pull this up. You see that? Look at, oh, you can't see that clean cut. Good morning, Debbie. How are all the puppies doing? Debbie is puppy sitting my daughter's dogs along with her Yorkies. We got a little family going on there. Okay. Let's see, I'm gonna move this. Look at this, y'all. Look at that cut. Okay, and I mean, it's like you have to kind of, okay. All right, there is your card base. Isn't that such a neat cut through both layers of cardstock? Like I said, with your machine, you may have to adjust your layers a little bit, but I love this clean cut. I love it. Okay. All right, so now for another card, I'm going to make, I have this Gorgeous Grape card base, 4¼ by 11. I'm going to leave it like that. And then I have a piece of Gorgeous Grape cut. This one was 4⅛ by 5⅜. And that was embossed with that embossing folder I just showed you. Wherever I did with it. It's plaster painting 3D embossing from Online Exclusives. And I'm going to layer that on top of that. Okay. Then I have a piece of Azure Afternoon number 8 arch that I'm going to use like this. Okay. And then I'm going to cut a piece of this designer paper, Everyday Skies, with the number 7 arch, which is why I left my machine up here. So I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. I picked my colors ahead of time. Love this. So I want to get some of those purples. And you know, this color actually is not in the designer paper, but look, Fresh Freesia is, okay? And it is, yeah, pretty, pretty. Okay, so I am going to, mm, I don't want mostly pink. I want some of that color. Let's see. So this is what I do. I kind of play with the die and the arch to see what colors I want to include. And I cut, if I have to cut in the middle of it to get the look I want, by golly, I do it. Okay, so I think I can do You Are a Ray of Sunshine here. Let me play with that. That's another thing I do. I get the stamp that I want to use. Let me put this down like I told you. Lay it flat on your desktop. Pick it up. That would fit in there. It's a little small. I think I'm going to use Your Simply Fantastic again, because I know that fits. I want it to really show. So what color ink do you think I should stamp with? These are the two choices that I think I should go with. Where is my gorgeous grape? Oh, there it is. Gorgeous grape or Azure Afternoon? Put it in the comments. What do you think? This is going to be, I'm trying to get all the colors in there. Gorgeous grape or this color or this color for the ink, for the sentiment. Vote. Vote now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this while y'all are thinking. So I'm going to kind of center that. I'm getting all those colors in there. Gorgeous grape, gorgeous grape. Yep. Okay. I think so too. And let's roll this through. Okay, gorgeous grape it is. So now, granted, I'm not going to get another arch cut out of this, but that's okay. I got the part I wanted because look. Woohoo! Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness. I'll save this and use these strips or that back side for sure. And let's see. Let me get this machine out of the way. And so I don't lose my arches, put them back on my magnet sheet. So this was number 7, number 10. Okay. And then let's get our mat. Okay, so we're going to do the sentiment first. We're going to use Gorgeous Grape. I need to reach over here behind, grab it. When I designed this studio area, I wasn't thinking that, I was thinking like, what's going to make it easier when I'm creating, not when I'm videoing, because I've got all my inks like behind my iPad that I'm looking at, but it works. It's a small area, but I love it. So I'm going to make a note. It's gotten warm in here now. Turn off the heater. Okay, so let's do it like this. You just ordered them, Debbie? Good, because when I checked this morning, the arches were on low inventory. So if y'all want them, you need to get them now. No. Okay. You are simply fantastic. I love it. I'm gonna love it. Okay, so press. Yeah, I love it. Good choice, y'all. Okay. So, oh yeah, I like that. So now I got to think about what else I want to put on here. Okay. So, the paper kind of speaks for itself, but I haven't used the hot air balloon that's in here yet. There's a little hot air balloon, and I think we need to use it. Okay, let's see. So this one is small enough you can just mount it without having to lay it flat. So, I could do like this and like this. Do y'all, the hot air balloon, should that be in Gorgeous Grape too? What do you think? Gorgeous Grape or Azure Afternoon? Vote. Vote now. And notice I'm not gluing anything down yet because I may put a strip of something here. I don't really know yet. Azure, Azure. Okay, let's do it. Done. Okay, so let's go here. Let's ink this up. Oh yeah, I think so. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this. It's just going to be there are no mistakes. It's just like, okay, I think I'm going to put two of them, maybe one here and one here. Y'all think that'd be okay? Oh, Kathy, I knew you would say Gorgeous Grape. And Debbie, I thought you would say Gorgeous Grape too. Those are my purple people. My purple people. So I'm going to put one here, here, and here. Two, one or two. I know, Kathy. One or two or three. Tell me, tell me, tell me. What do you think? I can go like bam, bam, bam. I can do here and here. I'll put three gems. Two. Okay, Pam. Two. Yeah. Oh, I like it. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so now I'm going to use some of these to kind of fill in. I think I'm going to go bam, bam, bam. Here I'm going from the middle again. One. Yeah, it's crazy. I look at my embellishments and they all have holes in the middle. Start with two. Yeah, yeah, Pam, you're right. It's like, okay, do I need another one? You know what I could do is put partial one down here in the corner. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that. Here I'm going from the middle. Mm, I don't know if I like that up there by itself. I'm going to wait on that last gem. Okay, so I'm going to take, I think I'm going to put one down here, y'all. Let me put this something here so I don't mess up my pad. And let's ink this baby up. And I'm going to do a partial one. And I may be sorry, but it's okay. We have to experiment. Committed. I like it. I like it with the three and the one not showing all the way. But I'm the gem. Let's see where I want to put this. Should I put five, three down here, and two up here? Or just three down here? This looks too lonely up here by itself, I think. Put one right here. Debbie, you said yes to what? Let's see. Five. Okay. I'm going for it. Going for it. Oh, it'll be pretty. See, overthinking it. Overthinking it. Oh, there's something about that I don't like. Y'all think I'm crazy. This, I struggle with embellishment placement more than anything. Not kidding. Not kidding. It's like I'm going, where do I want it? Let's do that. It's okay. I like it. It's sparkly. You know, the embellishments aren't supposed to be like a thing, like the balloons or an item. It's like it's just supposed to add some sparkle or, addition and kind of take up some of the free space. It's okay. I have to be honest, I'm not 100% happy with the embellishments. I'm gonna put it up here. Okay. I'm taking these two off and waiting because you know what? Let's look at the whole picture. Pam, you like it? Oh, it just was like they were standing out like. So I'm probably going to tie a ribbon around the bottom here. No, I'm not. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do here. Where's my ribbon? Where is my ribbon? Here it is. Okay. I'm probably going to move this up a bit, but I wanted to tie it down here. So let me trim this. So I don't usually do a fly by the seat of my pants kind of project on my lives because they get long, but if you like it, I need to know so I can do it more often. I mean, I think, we all have our struggle bus with, minus the embellishments. So look, I'm playing with this. Okay, I like that. So I'm going to pull this knot. Okay, Debbie. Yeah, I figured you would, Deb. Okay. Tied it a little knot, a little tight. I'm probably going to trim that a little bit too, but I've got this knot almost as close to the edge as I can. You see that? And I'm going to do that. Nope, it's got to go a little bit more. Okay. I like that. Okay, let's do it. And I'm probably going to use dimensionals under that. Since it's over that ribbon, sometimes that makes it easier. Look how pretty. I love how these layers, if you want a thicker layer behind your, the top layer, you could go like, instead of, a 6 and an 8 or a 6 and a 9 to make it more of a border. It's totally up to you though. Okay, let me grab some dimensionals. And let's put these on here. Okay. Take these off. I'm struggling with that. Where is my, take your pick. I've got a mess here. Y'all see that, huh? Dang. The dimensionals have been sitting here in a cold studio for months, and They're not wanting to cooperate. Okay, so I'm going to center that top to bottom, side to side. That's why I moved the knot over a little bit. Yes, I love it. Okay, so now let's look at this again. I might go here. I'm going for it. I'm just doing it. This is what I thought I might would do. It's just kind of scatter them like that. Okay. All right. Ideally, I would have, if I would have thought a little bit more about it, I'd have moved these three up a little bit. Okay. Instead of the bottom being heavy. I'm going to see if I can do it. I tell y'all, embellishment placement for me is like, oh, where am I going to put it? Especially if I'm having to decide on 5. Now I like that better. You see the balance? Do you see that? Or am I crazy? Don't say I'm crazy. I know y'all are going to say I'm crazy. Okay, let's go here. Let me get this off here and we're going to put this on our base. I love it. Don't you love it? Come on now. It's pretty. Thanks. All right. Okay. Okay. And then for the inside, I think what I'm going to do I have a piece of basic white cut? Of course I don't. I use them all. But I will put a piece of basic white on the inside so I can write my message. Okay. Thank you, Kathy. And oh, you know what? When you have an embossed piece like this, because of all the grooves and the unevenness of the paper, you need more glue. That's much more glue than I usually use. Y'all know that. Okay. So I'm going to do this and hold it. So use the more glue with the embossed pieces. Okay. So on the inside, I said I'm going to cut a piece of basic white, and then I'm going to probably stamp some of the hot air balloons, like 3 of them on the inside. Maybe use a strip of that designer paper that's left over along the bottom. And then I have room to write the message. Okay. So this will post on my blog probably early next week. And so you can see it in its entirety. I'll post a picture of the inside too, and I'll post it here on Facebook. And of course, YouTube, you can always see it in the video as well. So Facebook, on our live videos, they are only going to be there for 30 days and then they'll take them down, which I totally get. They can't host all of the videos that everybody does, the live. So be sure you watch it if you want to see it, but it will be on YouTube. You can always catch it on YouTube. All right. Okay. So this has been, I'm moving all this out of the way. This has been our week of cards that complement with the Everyday Arches bundle. That's not the one I want to look at. Okay. And I know you have some in your stash that you can send to others. So I hope you will do that. Let me get over here. Nope. Um, okay, so let's do it. Let's send cards and express our appreciation to others, okay, and brighten their day. Okay. All right. I hope you all have the rest of your weekend is wonderful. If you're in the area of the United States that observes daylight savings time, don't forget to spring forward tonight. Okay. All right. If I can help you with anything, let me know. This is Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspirations, inspiring you to create, share, and make a difference. Have a great day. Bye.